Hi everyone. Today in this volume we are going to discuss format of formal letters. The format of formal letters and applications are almost same or the same. So there is no difference between formal letters and applications regarding to its structure or format. In a formal letter, as you know, we discuss the matters which are related to official purpose. It means the formal letters are written to officers. These are also known as official letters. So formal letters are the letters which are written to officers, teachers, etc. First thing which is written in a formal letter is sender's address. Sender's address means the person who is writing the letter. We write the address of that particular person in the starting of the letter, and it is written in left side of the page. So sender's address is the address of the person who is sending the letter to someone. After sender's address we write date, and the date which we have to mention here must be the date on which we are writing the letter to a person. So first thing which is written in a formal letter is sender's address and date. Sender's address and date, both these things are known as the heading of the letter. This is known as the heading of the letter, and heading is common in formal and informal letters. So it doesn't matter whether we are writing a formal letter or informal letter, it is compulsory to write heading of the letter. So heading is written in formal and in informal letters. What is the meaning of heading here? It's very simple. Heading includes sender's address and date. Sender's address must be written at least in 2 lines. We just cannot write it only in a single line. So sender's address must be written in at least 2 lines. It can be written in 3 lines also. After that we write date. After date we leave one line blank. So one blank line is left. So first thing which is written in a formal or informal letter is sender's address. After that we write date on which we write the letter. After leaving one line we write receiver's address. After leaving one line we write receiver's address. Receiver's address is also known as inside address. So if we find that there is inside address, it means we are finding that the address is of a receiver. So don't be confused between both these terms. Both these terms indicate the same address, and the person who is writing the letter, we write the address of that particular person after leaving one line under the date. After receiver's address we write subject. In subject we mention the purpose of writing the letter. It is written in one or two lines. So it can be written only in a single line, and if the subject matter is a little bit longer or bigger, in that condition it can be written in two lines also. So remember students, first of all we write sender's address plus date. All these two things are written all together, means we do not leave line after sender's address. Although it is not considered wrong if we are leaving a single line after sender's address. But both these things are known as heading, means a part of the letter. It means a part of letter must be written all together. That's why we write sender's address plus date all together. And this part is written both in formal and informal letters. After date we leave one line, and after leaving one line we write receiver's address and subject. Here you must know about one thing. We write receiver's address and subject only in formal letters. Means if we are writing the letter to any officer, teacher or editor of any newspaper, in that condition we have to write receiver's address and subject. If we are writing a letter to our friends or relatives, in that condition receiver's address and subject are not written. So in informal letter, inside address means receiver's address is not written, and we also do not mention subject in informal letters. So first part of a formal letter is heading, in which we include sender's address and date. Next part is receiver's address or inside address. After receiver's address, just below the line of receiver's address, we mention the subject. In subject, we mention the purpose of writing the letter. And subject is written because the receiver may be a very busy person and he may not read the whole content written by us in the letter. So he or she can get an idea only looking at the subject about the letter. That's why we write subject in formal letters. And other reason may be the officer can easily sort out the letters according to their subjects. So first thing is sender's address plus date, that is known as heading. Second part of formal letter is receiver's address. Third part is subject, and fourth part is salutation. Salutation means a simple address to the person to whom we are writing the letter. So in salutation we write one or two words addressing the person who is going to get the letter. After salutation we put a comma. Generally comma is left out, and we should not leave comma after salutation. Means to write comma is somewhat compulsory. And this has been mentioned in our books of RBSE. So after salutation we write body of the letter or theme of the letter. So body of the letter is written after salutation. In the end of body of the letter, we write a line to show courtesy. Means the end of a letter must not be abrupt. There should be some courteous words. So in the end, we use generally thanking you, that is courteous ending. Or we can use I shall be obliged to you for doing this. So if we are willing to take favor from someone, in that condition we can use I shall be obliged to you. This is also a kind of courteous ending of a letter. After courteous leave taking, we leave one line and write subscription here. Subscription means we use some certain words which gives us the idea of relation between the receiver and sender. Here we can write yours obediently if we are writing letter to our teachers, yours faithfully if we are writing a letter to an officer who is unknown to us or stranger to us. And in the end of the letter, we write our signature. And if you are writing a letter to your teachers, in that condition you can mention the roll number. And in board examination, we write the roll number which are assigned to us. So this was the format of a formal letter. I'm going to repeat it again. In a formal letter, first of all we write sender's address. After, just below the line of sender's address, we write date. After writing date, we leave one line and write receiver's address. After receiver's address, we write subject and salutation. After salutation, we put a comma and write body of the letter. In the end, we use courteous leave taking, subscription and signature. So remember students, this is very important format for us to learn, because sometimes in examination some questions are asked of a level, or maybe we are unable to understand the language of the letter, or maybe we are unable to write the answer. But if we know about the format of a letter, we can gain good marks without knowing the subject matter of the letter. And one more thing, all things or all sentences which are written in a formal letter should be in a sequence. Means if we are starting sender's address from here, in that condition all the other words of a new sentence must be written only in this sequence. We cannot write like this. If we have written sender's address here, we will write the date here, then receiver's address here, subject here. If we are starting lines in this way, it is considered a wrong method or format of writing a letter. Generally it happens here. After salutation we start letter of the body of the letter from here. So this is a wrong method or process in which we write this kind of letters. So it must be avoided. All these things must be written in a sequence, in a straight line. Now we will discuss some questions, how we have to write answers in the examination. It will be discussed in these questions. In this example, my motto is just to tell the format of a letter, though such kind of questions are not supposed to be asked in 12th standard or 10th standard. But my purpose is just to show you how we have to write the letters. Suppose there was a question, and in question the name of the person has been given Siddharth, and the purpose of the letter is for 3 days leave due to urgent work. And in this question the person has not mentioned the sender's address. If there is not a sender's address in the question, in that condition we have to write examination hall plus name of city. So this is very important. Sometimes we assume the address of sender and we write the address of some particular person. Remember students, if the sender's address is not given in the question, in that condition we do not have to assume the address of the sender. We have to write only examination hall, and after examination hall we have to mention the name of city where we are studying, though the name of city may be other also. And here one thing which we have to notice is that the first letter of each word in address is capitalized. For example, examination hall. In examination hall, the first letter of examination is capitalized. It is written in a capital letter, and the first letter of hall, that is H, is also capitalized. So if we are writing a sender's address, in that address we have to capitalize each first letter of words. On the downside of the examination hall we write seeker, means the name of city. After name of city we write date. This is the very date on which we are giving exam. So first of all we write heading of the letter. In heading we include sender's address plus date on which we write the letter. After leaving one line we write inside address or receiver's address. So first of all we write sender's address. Sender's address is written first. After that we write date, and after date we leave one line and write receiver's address. In receiver's address, first of all we mention the post of the person to whom we are writing the letter. Here we are writing a letter to the principal, so the post of this person is the principal, and we generally use definite article before that post. So the principal is the post, and downside the post we write or mention the organization or institute. Remember students, if the school name is not given in the question, in that condition we have to write only the name of a government school. Although this is not a rule of writing, but generally it is written in this way only. There may be some reason behind it which can be explained in the classroom. The principal, government senior secondary school seeker. If there is the post of principal, in that condition we have to use senior secondary school. And if the post is headmaster or headmistress, in that condition we have to mention the headmaster or headmistress. If the post is headmaster or headmistress, in that condition we have to use secondary school only. So we can say up to 10th standard we use headmaster or headmistress for the head of the institute, and for 11th and 12th class, means for senior classes, we use senior secondary school. So if the school is up to 10th standard, we use headmaster, and if the school is up to 12th standard, we use principal. After receiver's address, we write subject. Subject means the purpose for which we write the letter. In this letter, the purpose is for 3 days leave due to urgent work. Here, days and days. There is a difference between both these terms. After days, we have to put an apostrophe. If days is plural, means if we are taking leave for more than one day, in that condition we have to write days and after that leave. And if the leave is for single day, in that condition we write days in this way, means we put apostrophe after y. And if leave is for more than one day, in that condition we put apostrophe in the end of the word. इन हिंदी डेज का जो मीनिंग होता है वो होता है दिनों की, क्योंकि ये प्लूरल है, और यहाँ पे अपोस्ट्रोफी जो यूज़ करना है हमें एस के ऊपर यूज़ करना है डेज. यहाँ पे जब भी हम ऐसे कोई एप्लीकेशन राइट कर रहे हैं जिसमें हमें एक दिन से ज़्यादा की लीव चाहिए, तब हम अपोस्ट्रोफी एस पे पुट करते हैं. अगर हमें केवल सिंगल डे के लिए ही एप्लीकेशन राइट करनी है, तब हम जो अपोस्ट्रोफी है वो वाई के बाद में राइट करते हैं. इस चीज़ का ज़रूर ध्यान रखना. After leaving one line, we put salutation. Salutation is sir. And this is one thing common, or we can say one sentence is common in all kind of formal letters or applications which are written to our teachers, and that is, most respectfully I beg to say that I am a student of class 11th in your school. This line can be written in any application which is written to our teachers. Today there is an urgent piece of work at my home, so I will not be able to attend the classes for 3 days from May 5 to May 7. Generally we write here an urgent work, which is wrong. An urgent work means the work is 1. Okay, and as you know it very well, work is uncountable, and before uncountable nouns we cannot use article a or n. But if we are using an urgent piece of work, in that condition we are using n for piece, not for work. So n can be written if we are using this phrase. Be cautious while writing this statement or line. I shall be able to attend the classes on May 8, 2020. Kindly grant me leave for 3 days, thanking you. This was the body of the letter, and this is courteous leave taking. After leaving one line, we write subscription, that is yours obediently. If we are writing a letter to our teachers, in that condition we have to use yours obediently. Name and roll number. Name is Siddharth, which has been given in the question, and roll number, we have to write the roll number which are assigned to us in the examination. See one more example. Suppose you are Rohit living at 57 Shiv Colony Sikar. You are ill. Write an application to your principal requesting her to grant you leave for 2 days. In this question, first of all, we see the sender's address. The sender's address is 57 Shiv Colony Sikar. In formal letter, first of all, we write sender's address, which has been written here. After sender's address, we write date. Keep on revising all these things. I'm repeatedly repeat these things. My purpose to write all these simple letters is to make you understand about the format of the letters. Here we are not discussing the expected questions which are asked in the examination or which have been asked in the examination. We are just discussing here the format. So you are supposed to learn all these things which have been mentioned here, because only single mistake in our confidence can be reason of marks reduction. So first thing which is written is sender's address. After that we write date. After date we leave one line and write inside address, means receiver's address. In receiver's address, first of all we mention the post of the person to whom we are writing the letter, and after the post we mention the organization or institute. So the principal, Government Senior Secondary School Sikar. Remember students, in the question Government Senior Secondary School has not been mentioned. Okay, but if there is no receiver's address, in that condition we have to assume Government Senior Secondary School if we are writing a letter to our teachers. After receiver's address we write subject, which has been given here, leave for 2 days, and reason of leave is illness. So subject is for 2 days leave due to illness, and here we can see the mention of her suggests us that the principal is a lady, and to address a lady we use madam. We can also use M.A. AM after putting a comma. So this is the short form of madam. We can also write it. So after subject we address the person to whom we are writing the letter, and the address is madam here. The body is most respectfully, I beg to say that I am a student of class 10th of your school. This is a common thing which we have to write in each application. If you are writing the letter to our teachers. I have been suffering from fever for last night. I have visited a doctor. The doctor has advised me to take medicines and rest for 2 days. So I cannot attend the classes for 2 days. Kindly grant me leave for 2 days. Thanking you. After leaving single line, we write subscription, that is yours obediently, name and roll number. One more question which we are going to discuss is here. Suppose you are living at 97 Bihari Marg Sikar. Write an application to your headmaster requesting her to grant you leave for 5 days due to your brother's marriage. To make words gender bias or to remove bias of gender, we can use headmaster for male and female, but in traditional grammar we use headmistress for ladies. First thing which we have to write is sender's address, that is 97 Bihari Marg Sikar, which has been given in the question. After sender's address we write date, leave one line and write receiver's address. And who is the receiver here? Headmaster. So the headmaster. We can write headmistress also because the person is a lady who is going to get this letter. Government secondary school seeker. In previous example we have written government senior secondary seer because the post is of a principal, and here in this question we are using government secondary school. So try to understand the difference between headmaster, headmistress or principal. Headmaster or headmistress is used for the post in which a person controls the organization up to 10th standard, and principal is written when the person is controlling the institute up to 12th standard. Subject for 5 days leave due to my brother's marriage. This is the subject. After subject we leave one line and we put salutation, that is ma'am. We can write this word in two ways, ma, after that apostrophe and am. This is short form of madam. This is only a short form of madam. In this we are using apostrophe instead of d, and apostrophe is used to make short form, so this is only a short form of madam. Bodies. Most respectfully, I beg to say that I am a student of class 12th in your school. There is my brother's marriage on May 15, 2020. The marriage party will go to Udaipur. I want to attend this marriage ceremony. This is the reason of writing the letter. So I will not be able to attend the classes for 5 days from May 5 to May 9. Kindly grant me leave for 5 days so that I can enjoy and make this ceremony memorable. Thanking you. After courteous leave taking we write subscription, that is yours obediently, name and roll number. So in this way we write a formal letter or application. I hope you understood all these things very well. If you have any question in that condition, you can ask me question in doubt section. Remaining will be discussed in the next volume.